Hello, welcome to Hey York, our international student podcast. In this episode, we'll be discussing what teaching at university is really like for undergrads. I'm Sydney, a master's student from the US studying music management and marketing, and I'll be your host. Samriddhi and Emery, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Samriddhi. I'm from India and I'm studying BA Business and Management at University of York.
Hi, I'm Emery. I'm from Singapore and I'm studying psychology at the University of York.
Nice to meet you both. First things first, let's think right back to before you started uni. Our journeys to York might have been slightly different. Samriddhi, what was your educational journey look like before? Did you go to public or private school, or were you homeschooled?
Yeah, so I attended private school, which is also the Asia's largest school in terms of the number of students it has. And it's called City Montessori School. And I quite liked the teaching pattern there. I wasn't really interested in sports, but there were like regular classes, remedial classes, extra classes as well if you need more personal teaching. But the teachers were always available to help, and there was so much support there.
Nice. Would you say it was more of a supportive learning environment rather than independent work?
I think it was a bit of both. Like, initially they would leave you to do your independent learning and see how the results are. And if like you, let's say you're not performing up to the mark or like whatever, like let's say 60% or 70%, then they'll provide help and put more classes, arrange extra teachers for you. But there was a time when like people used to study till 6 p.m. at school. So it was quite intense in those terms, but they were actually trying to help you, which is something I really appreciate because imagine staying at uni till 6 p.m. just teaching students.
Emery, what about yourself?
I went to public school my whole life. It was really intense for me as well. I think there is a very heavy focus on like practicing and exams, and not so much about like the like extracurricular stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like a combination of independent learning and supportive learning, in that in school you get like a lot of support from like teachers and stuff, but you're also expected to like do a lot of like independent learning on your own after school, like at home.
Nice. Yeah. And what were you most nervous about for starting your degree in the UK and at York?
I think I wasn't nervous at all. I was really excited because I was like, yeah, I'm going to the UK, which honestly saying I never even had dreamt of. And I was a bit scared on the part where I had to travel alone, because initially I was supposed to travel with my family, but it just couldn't happen for some reason. So initially I was afraid, like how am I going to navigate a totally different country? But it kind of happened like smooth, and I was given help by the strangers, which was quite nice. So I was excited. This is all I can think of. I'm in my third year now, and when I look back, I quite feel proud of myself.
You should be proud of yourself. Was this your first time in the UK or living independently?
Yes, of course. Like this is my, I came to this country just when I was about to start uni. Like I didn't even attend open days. So this was totally new for me. Like just walking into like dark, not knowing what's going to be there for you.
What about you, Emery?
I think I was actually really nervous because it's my first time living alone and moving away from my friends and family, and it was like a completely different culture as well to back home, and I just didn't know how I was going to adapt to a new environment, but everything worked out. So
good, glad to hear it. And now you're both here and you're settled in. Let's reflect on the teaching at university and in particular at York. So, Emery, what's your course format like and what facilities are available to you at York? What's the teaching look like? Are they lecture heavy, seminars, activity-based learning?
In my first and second year, it's more of lectures, practicals, and tutorials in psychology. So it was, everyone had to do compulsory modules. There wasn't really a lot of options where you could take something else. And it was more heavily focused on group projects as well. Whereas in my third year now, it's more of like independent learning, and you have a lot more options to do what you're interested in, to choose advanced modules and things like that, and your dissertation as well. So I think it's a lot more independent in my final year compared to the first 2 years. And you really get a lot of support in the first 2 years in terms of like from the lecturers and things like that.
And have you accessed any of the facilities on campus to kind of enhance your in-class learning experiences?
Yeah, so I used the writing support in order to like they helped me take a look at my critical analysis essays and things like that, and they gave feedback on the structure and like the clarity of my essays, and I found that really helpful.
Nice. What about you?
So in our course, we have got lectures, workshops, and seminars. And I think it's been the same throughout like my first, second, and my third year as well. I think the only change is you can choose to do dissertation instead of 2 modules in your third year, which I chose to go for like 2 modules rather than doing a dissertation. They've kind of incorporated DAX team into our curriculum now, and that has been very helpful. But apart from that, like our department specifically has their own like careers team, which can help you to kind of build your CV, or just like any help in general, how to fill out an internship form or write your personal statement, things like that. But yeah, obviously independent learning is kind of pushed in every course, I believe.
With your independent learning, because you've both mentioned that, did you also have some teaching support, and how did you make use of that? Was there ever a time where you were struggling with something and you got help from a lecturer?
I think the only help I have taken is through emails. So every time I've emailed the faculty, they have got back to me quite quickly and with the solution to my problem. Otherwise, I always like stay after a class or workshop if I have any questions. I feel like that's the best way to like interact, like in person. I prefer in person.
Nice. What about you, Emery?
Yeah, so in terms of my essay feedback, when like I had one essay where it was like I just didn't understand why I got that mark and like what I did wrong and things like that. And I reached out to a lecturer, and she met me one-on-one in person at her office, and she just explained to me like what I did wrong and how I can improve from there. And I felt like that was really useful, and yeah.
Very nice.
If you're enjoying hearing our students' experiences of life at York, why not follow us on Instagram or sign up for our email update to get all the latest info straight to your inbox. Check out the links in the description to get started.
Wonderful. Well, looking ahead now, what are your plans for after graduating? If you have a plan, perhaps you're thinking of some further study or having a year to travel or a career path in mind.
For me, definitely a career path, but it has kind of changed throughout like my 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've studied human resources module at one point, and I was like, yay, this is my field. But then I recently studied supply chain, and now I'm like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of changing. It's still changing. I still have, like, I'm still studying 3 more modules. So it might change again by the time I finish those.
Very cool. What about you?
I'm really interested in forensic psychology, which is to do with like criminals and like rehabilitating criminals and things like that. But I think I would want to get some work experience before doing a master's in forensic psychology. So yeah, looking for a job currently after graduation.
Awesome. And are there any skills or experiences you've gained at York that you'd be able to use on these future paths, whether that's forensic psychology or supply chain?
Yeah, so we have done group projects as a part of our program. I think that has kind of taught me how to work in a team, how to approach your teammates, how to communicate well. I've been leading societies such as the International Students Network, which I've led, and it was a 16-member team at one point, so I've kind of managed that. And then I've been in the Darwin committee, looking after the well-being, so that is kind of a bit like emotional area. So I kind of know how to deal with people's emotions. But apart from that, I've learned time management really well at uni. I think, and I've also learned how to manage my calendar, which is something I didn't realize is like helpful. But like one thing I really kind of push is I keep uni calendar and my personal calendar like different, which kind of helps me plan my day and do like a proper work-life integration, because sometimes we're so engrossed in like just doing work that we forget that we have a life outside of work.
Nice. What about you, Emery?
So I'm currently doing 2 forensic psychology advanced modules.
Nice.
Forensic psychology in practice and applications of forensic psychology. So that directly relates to what I want to do in the future. And I also am like in the committees of like societies and things like that. And that really, I think, taught me how to work well in a team with different people. And I think definitely time management as well, like juggling work, uni, like academics, and then your social life. I think that definitely, yeah.
What societies are you part of?
I'm in the Singapore Society, and I was in volleyball and Derwent College volleyball.
Very cool. Now, the University of York has the York for Life program where alumni can continue to receive learning and career support and so much more after graduation. Is this something you're looking to make use of when you graduate and become an alum?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? I feel like if there's an opportunity, I will definitely grab it. I've kind of been in touch with the team because when we were about to have our event for the network, we were looking for alumni who might be in York to attend our event. So I've kind of been in touch with them, and I kind of know how it works. And I was really interested. Like they're still in touch with a lot of alumni. So I was like, that is something nice. I think I'll definitely do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very good way to expand your network as well. And if like you need support after you've graduated, it's good to know that the team's still there for you.
Totally. So we always like to end the podcast with a quick fire round. First one to put their hand up gets to answer the question. Are you both ready?
Yes.
Question 1, why did you choose York?
I chose York because it's ranked really high for psychology in the UK, and University of York is a prestigious university. And I actually came to the university before I actually enrolled, just to see the campus and just to talk to people from the department. And I really liked the campus, and I felt like there were so many green spaces, and it was just such a calming vibe. And I could totally see myself studying here. And the people at the department were really nice and helpful as well in answering my questions. So that's why I came.
Lovely. Now, question number 2, where's the best place to eat in York?
I really love D-Bar.
Where is this?
It's in Darwin College, and it's like a cafe in the college itself. And that's my go-to place.
Is it like cafe food, like coffee? What's your go-to on the menu?
I always go for a latte. But I treat myself, sometimes I treat myself to like roll or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a sandwich person.
Nice. I gotta check it out. Question 3. Where is the best place to study on campus?
Church Lane. There's like a study space upstairs. Oh my God. It's so nice.
Is it usually quiet?
Yes, it's a quiet space, so it's supposed to be. If it's not, then it's a bad thing. Yeah, but it's really like calming and it looks good. Like the vibe is so good. Like you walk in, you like get that feeling that it's a business building and you feel like sitting there and studying.
I'll write that one down too. Last question. What's your favorite memory at York?
I would say winning roses. So I was on the uni team volleyball last year and I played for roses and we won, and every single team of volleyball won roses. So that was really nice. And well, we went out after roses and it was a good time as well.
Roses every year, right?
Yeah, it's every year. Last year was in York.
Well, congrats on winning.
Thank you.
Okay, I do have one more question for both of you. And this is, if you could send a short voice note to yourself before you started at York, what would you say?
I would say try everything. Just go in. Don't be afraid of anything. I think I would rather try and fail or win 50-50 than never tried at all, because everything I've put efforts into, I've made it. Like I've got things done. I feel like you should never reject yourself for anything. Like let others do it if they have to, but you should never reject yourself.
Nice.
I would say step out of your comfort zone and go to every single event, because it's a really good way to meet new people and make new friends. And I would say that everything would work out, I think, because I had a lot of anxiety coming here before uni, but well, everything would work out.
Lovely. Well, that's the end of today's episode, and sadly, the end of the series. We've covered lots of different topics, but if there's something you'd love for us to talk about next time, why not suggest it in a comment or follow us on Instagram at uniofyork_international. Send us a DM. Before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our guests this series who have shared their stories about life at York, and thank you to Samriti and Emery for joining me today. And don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Bye for now.